welcome to class 4 EVS. Children, we were doing chapter 9, Air We Breathe. Children, we have almost completed the chapter. Today we are going to cover our last topic, that is how is air pollution caused and how we can reduce it. Children, before revising the chapter, today we will first complete this topic and then we will revise the complete chapter. So children, before revising the chapter, we will first read how is air pollution caused and how we can reduce it. After that, we will revise the complete chapter as well as what we did in the previous session. So children, let us start the topic. Okay children, air pollution. Let us start air pollution. So, this is air pollution. Children, without air, the earth will be cold, dry, silent and lifeless. Children, as I told you before itself, all the main activities which occur on earth is only because of the air. So children, if there is no air on the earth, we won't be able to get the warmth of sun. We get the warmth of the sun only because of the air. That is why if no heat reaches the earth will remain cold. So that is why first thing that is cold, the earth will be cold is only because no heat from the sun will be able to reach the earth. As there is no air, no heat or the warmth of the sun will be able to reach the earth. That is why the earth will remain cold. Now next is dry. If there is no air, the earth will remain dry. As I told you in my previous video, all the activities such as when we boil water, the water gets changed into vapors. The water cycle on the earth occurs only because of the air. Children, as there won't be change of water into water vapor, the air will not have any kind of moisture. That is why the earth will remain dry. So second thing is dry. It will remain dry. Now third is the earth will remain silent. Children, as I told you yesterday, it is the air that carries our voice or any sound to our eyes or to the others, our ears or to the others' ear. So this voice won't be heard by anyone. So if we won't be able to hear any kind of sound spoken by anyone or the sound of any object, then the earth will remain silent. So children, this is the air which make us hear the sounds produced on earth. So children, the earth will remain without air, the earth will remain silent. Our next point is lifeless. Similarly children, as we know, we all means all the living beings survive on earth. Survive means live. Live on earth or can live on earth only because of the earth, as we all breathe in air. Children, we all inhale air. That is why we are alive. Children, if there is no air on the earth, we won't be able to breathe and we won't be able to survive on earth. I hope children you are able to understand. Without air, earth will remain cold, dry, silent and lifeless. As without breathing, none of us can survive on earth or none of us can live on earth. We won't be able to live on earth. So that is why the earth will become lifeless. None of the living being, whether it is plant, animal or human being will be able to survive on the earth. That is why the earth will become lifeless. So this is the reason, children. Without air, the earth will be cold, dry, silent and lifeless. Now children, our next line is, we should keep the air clean. Children, why should we keep the earth clean? As we know, children, why should we keep air clean? So children, as we know, air is very important. If we breathe air, it should be clean. If you don't breathe clean air, what will happen? We may have lung diseases, as whatever we breathe comes out and goes in, means exhalation and inhalation, which we have studied in the first chapter itself, occur due to lungs. So it will affect our lungs and we may have different types of diseases. That is why children, we should keep the air clean, or all the living beings will be affected by the air. So children, but unwantedly, even though we don't want to dirty the air, due to our actions, indirectly we harm this air, or we do such an activity due to which the air gets impure. So children, what are these activities? For example, the fumes or the smokes coming out from the factories, from our kitchen, power station, exhaust of the vehicles, all these fumes or dust or smoke make the air impure, or these impurities or these impurities which mix with the air or emitted into air make the air dirty, and this dirt, the making the air dirty, is called pollution. So children, by mixing these poisonous gases to the air, make the air polluted, and the process of polluting the air is called air pollution. So children, mixing of unwanted poisonous gases from factories, power station, exhaust from the vehicles, or even in our kitchen by burning fuel or burning wood or anything else, we dirty the air. This process of making the air dirty is called pollution. So children, these gases can be very dangerous to young children. Once you inhale these gases, it will cause different types of lung diseases. Children, as this air goes from the nose to the lungs lungs will be badly affected and cause different types of diseases. For example, asthma, bronchitis. Children, these are the lung diseases which may be caused by prolonged use of or prolonged exposure to such an environment. Means children, prolonged means for a long time. Children, prolonged means, here we have a word prolonged. This means for long time. Exposure means getting in contact with. Children, अगर हम इस तरह के वातावरण यानी environment, here we have one more word, that is environment. The area around us is called environment. All the space around us is called environment. So children, we are directly affected by our environment. whatever good or bad happens to the environment, we will be affected. So children, environment is the nature around us. हमारे आसपास का जो माहौल वातावरण है उसको एरिया है, हम उसको एनवायरनमेंट कहते हैं. सो चिल्ड्रन, प्रोलॉन्ग्ड मतलब लंबे समय तक, फॉर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. अगर लंबे समय तक हम इस तरह के वातावरण में या सराउंडिंग में रहेंगे, हमारे आसपास की जगह को हम एनवायरनमेंट कहते हैं. तो ऐसे सराउंडिंग में रहेंगे, इससे एक्सपोजर मीन्स हमें इस तरह का वातावरण मिलेगा, तो व्हाट विल हैपन, वी मे लीड टू डिसीजेस लाइक अस्थमा एंड ब्रोंकाइटिस. सो चिल्ड्रन, एज वी नो कि इफ़ वी गेट एक्सपोज्ड टू दीज काइंड ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट क्या हुआ, अगर हवा गंदी हुई या पोल्यूट हुई तो हमारे एनवायरनमेंट को पोल्यूट करेगी. ठीक है, हमारे पूरे एनवायरनमेंट में हमारे आसपास, जैसा कि आई टोल्ड यू कि ऑल द ओपन स्पेस अराउंड अस इज कवर्ड बाय द एयर, एंड इफ दिस एयर गेट्स पोल्यूटेड, व्हाट विल हैपन, इट विल इफेक्ट आवर लंग्स. As we breathe air through our lungs, it will affect our lungs, and we will get different kinds of diseases. We will have breathing problem, we will have other lung problems. So children, we should not pollute or dirty the air, or we should keep the air clean. This is the reason why we should keep the air clean. So children, we'll repeat once again whatever we did. Children, our topic is air pollution. Air pollution means making the air impure. How this air becomes impure? Children, as I told you, while teaching the composition of air, or the air is composed of, ठीक है, तो the air is a mixture of many gases. Children, other than those gases, we also have some of the things which get involved or get mixed with the air when it comes in contact with these things. For example, when you burn something, the smoke coming out of that something means you burn garbage or you burn wood, so whatever fumes comes out or the smoke comes out, it get mixed with the air, it makes the air dirty. Or the fumes coming of the factory also makes the air dirty. Or children, when we drive a vehicle, that vehicle also produces, the exhaust in the vehicle produces fumes or the smoke, that also mixes with the air and makes the air dirty. This process of making the air dirty is called pollution. So children, here as the air is getting polluted, we call it as air pollution. So children, let us understand the whole process with the help of example pictures. So children, dust particles, smoke, when these get mixed with the air becomes dirty. So children, the smoke, dust particles, these when get mixed with the air becomes dirty. So children, smoke or the dust particles make the air impure. Now, burning rubbish, children, waste, children, this is waste. Rubbish means waste. This is wood or the dry leaves. When you burn these things, the air gets dirty. So these poisonous gases get mixed with the air and it makes it dirty. Now, burning firecrackers, children, when you burn क्रैकर्स मीन्स पटाखे. जब हम दिवाली में पटाखे जलाते हैं तब भी it mixes with the air and makes the air dirty. Burning plastic. Children, when we burn plastic, this also gets mixed with the air and it makes the air impure. Smoke from the factories. Children, smoke. These are the chimneys and here we have smoke. These smoke also get mixed with the air and makes it dirty. Makes the air dirty or impure. Now, children, the fumes. These are the fumes. These all are the fumes. Fumes makes the air dirty. The fumes coming out the fumes coming out from the vehicles also make the air dirty or impure. Now, children, air also contains lot of very tiny living organisms which we have studied in our first chapter. Very tiny living organisms are called germs. When we sneeze or cough, we release these germs into the air and air becomes infected. So, air becomes impure. Now, here also when we sneeze, germs can infect us and make us ill, and they indirectly they get mixed with the air also. Or someone has sneezed or coughed and released germs in the air may make us ill. So children, all these things when mixes with the air, it makes the air impure. Children, we should try to keep the air free from these. Children, but knowingly or unknowingly we infect the air or we make the air impure by our activities. The activities which we do through our activities, either by burning the either by burning the plastic or by wood, dry leaves or garbage or rubbish, we do all these activities and make the air dirty. So children, this is how the air gets impure or unwanted poisonous gases from the factories or from burning different types of things such as garbage, rubbish, wood, leaves get mixed into the air and makes the air dirty. This process of making the air dirty is called pollution. Now children, these dirty air, as we live in this environment and this air is the part of the environment, when we are in contact with this kind of air for a long period of time, we get or it may lead to different types of diseases like asthma and bronchitis. So children, try to keep the air pure, and let us see how we can reduce by following steps, reduce air pollution. So children, pollution can be reduced by the following steps. If we follow certain steps, we can reduce, at least we cannot stop the pollution, but we can reduce. Reduce means children, we can try to control. Control का मतलब थोड़ा हम उस पर को रोक लगा सकते हैं. So कुछ हम अपने आदतों को बदलेंगे या फिर हम कुछ ऐसे स्टेप्स लेंगे जिससे कि ये पोल्यूशन एकदम ख़त्म तो नहीं हो सकता, बट वी कैन एटलीस्ट उसकी को कम कर सकते हैं. सो लेट अस सी हाउ वी कैन कंट्रोल द पोल्यूशन. Children, here are some steps by which we can control air pollution. Pollution can be reduced by the following steps. Plant more trees and stop deforestation. Plants purify air by giving oxygen. Children, as we know, Plants are the one which cleans the air. Children, plants are the one which takes carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. Children, oxygen is the main important part of the air which is used by the living things which we all breathe. And children, oxygen is the air which makes the air fresh. So children, in order to get more and more oxygen, we need to plant more trees. Children, if you want to keep your environment clean and fresh, you have to plant more and more trees. And also children, stop deforestation. Children, what is deforestation? Deforestation is cutting off the forest. Children, cutting of trees are called deforestation. Children, as we know, we cut down the trees for our benefit or for our use. Human beings keep on cutting more and more things to make their life comfortable and to make their life attractive. Children, we use different these wood in different ways for making different types of fascinating furnitures or doors, windows, or also to make different types of things, due to which we keep on cutting the trees and remove more and more from the trees from the earth, which leads to the air pollution. As we don't have trees on the earth, the air will not be purified and it will cause air pollution. So children, plants purify air by giving oxygen. So children, stop cutting the trees. That is why we say stop deforestation, because in order to clean the air, we need more oxygen, and the oxygen we get from the plants. So children, our first step in keeping the air clean or in reducing pollution is to plant more and more trees and stop cutting of trees. Deforestation means removal of tree from the earth or cutting down of the trees. We have to stop cutting down the trees so that we get enough oxygen, and oxygen is the one which purifies the air and also keeps the air fresh. Now children, second point is use unleaded petrol or CNG. So children, we have to use unleaded petrol because these leaded petrol release some poisonous gases. Means when they are used in the vehicle, they release poisonous gases in the form of smoke, which gets mixed with the air and makes the air dirty. So children, here we have to stop. We will stop using leaded petrol. We will use unleaded petrol or CNG. Children, CNG is compressed natural gas. Children, you must have seen CNG run vehicles in metropolitan cities. So children, in Delhi and all, the autos or the car run by CNG gases only. So these are the natural gases which don't release too much of smoke. So they are eco-friendly gas. They are said eco-friendly gas. Eco-friendly gas means which it is something which do not pollute the air or which helps in keeping the air fresh. So children, we should use unleaded petrol or CNG. Our third point is do not burn garbage or dry leaves. Children, burning of garbage or dry leaves also produces harmful gases, which also pollutes the air. So we should not burn garbage or dry leaves. They produce harmful gases. Keep your surroundings clean. Children, if you keep your surrounding dirty also, that will also lead to germination of different types of germs, and these germs will also be these germs will also get mixed with the air and create uh, pollution. So children, keep your surrounding clean. Now, factories should be made or shifted away from the residential area. Children, residential area means the area where people live, where the families live. So we will make or shift the factories in outer skirts of the सिटी, मतलब शहर के बाहर ले जा कर के हम फैक्ट्रीज़ को इस्टेब्लिश करेंगे, सो दैट जो फ्यूम्स जो स्मोक फैक्ट्री से निकलती है उससे हम हमारा रेसिडेंशियल एरिया या जहाँ पे लोग रहते हैं उस वो एरिया कम से कम बचा रहेगा, शहर से दूर रहेगा, तो हम हमारे शहर में की हवा को साफ हम रख पाएंगे. सो फैक्ट्रीज़ को हम शहर के बाहर ले जा कर के एस्टैब्लिश करेंगे या बनाएंगे. नाउ रोड शुड बी metalled so that dust does not pollute the air. So children, as we know, if the dust from the soil, when vehicles run, the dust fly and it mixes with the air and it makes it polluted. इसकी वजह से हमें एलर्जीज़ होती है, बहुत सारी रेस्पिरेटरी सांस लेने में हमें बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स होती है. ठीक है, तो इस वजह से हमको जो रोड हम बनाएंगे दैट विल बी मेड विथ मेटल से बनी हुई रोड रहेंगी, तो डस्ट भी कम रहेगा, और डस्ट कम रहेगा तो एयर कम पोल्यूट होगा. Now, so children, these are the certain steps by which we can control air pollution. So children, plant more trees and stop deforestation. Deforestation means children cutting down of trees. हम जंगल वगैरह के पेड़ों को बहुत ज़्यादा मात्रा में काटते हैं, उसे हम डिफॉरेस्टेशन कहते हैं. So children, as we know, because of the plant only we get oxygen, and oxygen helps in purifying the air and also keeping the air fresh. So children, plant more and more trees and stop cutting the trees. Cutting of trees are called deforestation. इसीलिए हमें डिफॉरेस्टेशन रोकना पड़ेगा और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पेड़ लगाने पड़ेंगे. Now, use unleaded petrol. Children, use CNG gas, which is eco-friendly. It does not release any kind of smoke or fumes. So in order to control the pollution, we have to use unleaded or CNG gases. Do not burn garbage or dry leaves. We should not burn garbage or dry leaves as it releases harmful gases. Keep your surrounding clean. हमें अपनी सराउंडिंग को, अपने आसपास की जगह को साफ रखना होगा. Factories should be made or shifted away from the residential area. Children, residential area means जिस एरिया में हम अपनी फैमिली के साथ रहते हैं, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग रहते हैं, उसे हम रेसिडेंशियल एरिया कहते हैं. सो जहाँ पे घर बना करके लोग रहते हैं, तो इन सब से दूर हमें फैक्ट्रीज़ को बनाना चाहिए, या अगर है तो वी हैव टू शिफ्ट दिस फैक्ट्रीज out of the city, means somewhere away from the city, because most of the people live in the city, or that is why we should take these factories to outer area from the cities where there is no residential area or the people do not live there. Now, road should be metalled, और जो metal जिस road जो है, अगर हम we make the roads with metal, then there will be less dust, and the air will also be, the pollution of air also will be reduced. So these are the certain points which we have to take care of to reduce the pollution. Now children, let us revise the chapter. So children, this is all around, all these areas are covered with air. So we have air all around us. Air is all around us. So children, Air is all around us. Now, children, here in this picture, we can not taste, smell, or feel air unless it moves. So, children, we can only feel air when it moves. When it moves, that is wind. Moving air is called wind. Children, you cannot feel the air unless it moves. Children, if you are sitting in a room and there is no movement in the air, you cannot feel it. When it starts moving, you can feel it. So, children, air cannot be felt, tasted, or smelled as it is colorless, tasteless, odorless. And children, we can only feel it when it moves. So, children, this is the fact that you can only feel the air when it moves. So, as I told you, air is everywhere. Even when you are sitting in a room, there is air. So, the room is completely filled by air. The room is completely filled by air. So, children, in the room where you sit, this complete room is filled by air. It is filled by air. It is filled by air. Now, children, you can only smell the air when it is dirty. So, here you can because of the garbage, the smell has the air has smell. As this garbage is smelling, the smell of this garbage gets mixed with the air and you can smell the garbage air. So, children, you can smell it. You cannot smell the air unless it is dirty. So, you can smell the air if it is dirty. Now, children, as I told you, air can be felt only when there is movement, and moving air is called air is called wind. Moving air is called wind. So, you can only feel it when it moves. Now, children, characteristics of air. Children, here we have two tubes. First one has no air. When there is no air, it has no shape also. When you fill the air in the second one, has air and has shape also. That means the air inside the tube has taken or occupied the space. Occupied matlab the area inside the tube is covered by the air. That means it has occupied the space. Now it gets a shape, and we can say air can give shape to things as it occupies space. When the air inside the tube is covered, when the space inside the tube is covered by the air, it gets a shape. So, children, here we can say first characteristic of air, that air occupies space. Now, second one, children, air has weight. As I told you, second characteristic of air is air has weight. Children, in this one we have two tire tubes. First one is flat and has less weight. As it has no air, it has less weight, and the weight is 3. The weight showing here is 3. And in the second one has air, and that is why it has more weight, and the weight here showing is 17. So, children, which one is more? This one is more. So, after getting filled with air, it has weight. That means air has weight. So, this is our second characteristic, that is air has weight. So, children, all living things need air to breathe. So, children, oxygen, as I told you, Oxygen is the main part of the air, is the most important gas for all the living beings to stay alive. Children, in order to live, we need oxygen. Children, oxygen keeps the air fresh. Children, oxygen is the one which keeps the air fresh. Now, children, composition of air. Air contains, air is made up of the main things, that is nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and carbon dioxide 1%. So this is the main composition of air. Children, air contains nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and carbon dioxide 1%. Children, other than the carbon dioxide, many more things are included in this 1%, that is smoke, water vapor, some other gases, hydrogen, helium, krypton, and water vapor, smoke, dust, germs, etc. So children, this is the composition of air. Now children, Earth. Earth is the only planet which has oxygen. Children, here we can see this is Earth. Earth is the only planet that has oxygen, one of the part of air. Without oxygen, no living being can survive. That is why only Earth is the planet where living beings can survive. Now children, one more important thing. We can burn fire, or we can light anything only when there is oxygen. So oxygen is also important for burning fire. So children, oxygen is also important for fire to exist. So children, only this much for today. Tomorrow we will do keywords and things to remember. Thank you.